decades, you referencing retaliatory politics is an admission that the 8 years of President Akufo-Addo and Mahama Bawumia were not the best for this country. You can't be ashamed.
This is Magical GH. Magical GH. And I will be your papa. Subscribe next Magical.
Some media houses are allowed.
This is the reason why we are here. So you should allow us. We are the media.
So, okay, so. No, not all.
Why?
Take your time. Take your time.
Line up.
What is that?
Oh, guys, line up. Let's
Line up. Guys, no. Line up. Let's line up. Let's line up. Let's line up. Media, let's line up. Let's line up.
Obey. Oh, Charlie. Nobody's going anywhere. Hey. Oh, GBC. Oh.
Madam, your phone. Madam. Hello, madam.
Thank you very much. We're here coalition of political parties who are demonstrating today to indicate to our President, His Excellency, John Mahama, that we're not happy about his incursion. We have LPG here, we have NPD, we have LPG, and we have PNP, the New Patriotic Party. Working in tandem with the masses of Ghana to make sure that our President hears what our petition is. We hope that through you, we can deliver that petition. We have a lot of people, I won't be able to introduce everybody. We have our national organizer here, Ghana Politics here. We have our General Secretary, Justice here. We have our Deputy Speaker, the Deputy Minority Leader, we have the leader of LPG, Kofi Akpabio here. We have our leaders are here to present this petition and through you to reach His Excellency the President. Our minority leader, His Excellency Honorable Akpabio Martin, will present our petition. But if you first of all will introduce yourself.
My name is Stan Dobe. I'm the Deputy Chief of Staff.
And maybe
Last Erica Hiano is the presidential hero.
Thank you very much. My name is Richard Anyamba, and I'm minority leader. Go ahead and present the speech.
Go down. Can you push to go down? As you are well aware, there are some instabilities in the country. We believe that in a democracy, the way to do it is through peaceful conduct like
started with the judiciary, where we presented a petition, the same petition to the judicial secretary for onward transmission to the judicial council. We went to parliament. The clerk to parliament received us on behalf of the speaker. We expect that the petition will be brought to the House floor while the House receives for deliberation. And finally, to the principal actor himself. We believe that what is happening is not good for us. There must be an end to this issue of you do me, I do you. There must be an end to retaliatory politics. In Ghana today, all of us as political actors have a story to tell. Where do we end the vicious cycle? It is not yielding to the whims of hawks and hardliners in our respective political parties that will make us better political leaders. We believe that the hawks must be pushed back onto the fringes so that the centrists can take the center stage for the good of our country. In today's era of social media, you cannot control what gets onto the streets, and this democracy must be protected and safeguarded. So, my respected brother and friend, this is to you. The language is very respectful and decent, and it expresses our views because we know we are addressing the president. We hope that it shall receive needed support. So the Chief Justice to go back to her office and do her work. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Here in the office of the President, on behalf of the President, I'm delighted to receive the petition from the coalition and to be duly presented to the Chief of Staff for the attention of the President. Let me say that we are happy that your process started this morning and has ended very peacefully. That in itself is a very strong message about the democracy that President Mahama wants to instill in our dear country. If it were the case like this over the past 8 years, I'm sure that the retaliatory politics that we talk about wouldn't have been the case. You referencing retaliatory politics is an admission that the 8 years of President Akufo-Addo and Bawumia were not the best for this country. You can be assured, however, that President Mahama, as every Ghanaian knows, is not that politician. President Mahama does not believe in retaliatory politics. He's described as, too much of a father for all kind of president, and everybody knows that. Whatever actions that are being taken now, whatever decisions that are being taken now, as everybody knows, is in line with the provisions of our 1992 Constitution. Indeed. Before President Akufo-Addo left the presidency, he himself had started a certain process where issues were brought to him about the Chief Justice, and he referred them to the Council of State. And that is what President Mahama has done. It is not about retaliating on something that was done by the previous administration against President Mahama or the NDC. So the process that is ongoing is constitutional, and I do believe that if the committee that has been set completes its work, whatever decisions that they make, just as the Council of State's advice to the President was binding on him, it will be binding on him. I can assure you and the people of Ghana that we appreciate the fact that just as government ensured that you went about your demonstration peacefully, there was one also last weekend, peacefully without any attempt at preventing you from expressing yourselves. We would continue to allow for that peaceful expression of ourselves in this country under President Mahama. Nobody is going to inhibit or stop anybody from going there. That should tell you that President Mahama, in less than 120 days, has demonstrated how he is going to save the democracy of Ghana. He is going to grow the democracy of this country, and we are going to be together.
Are you accepting or you are responding? Are you responding? You are responding.
You and all the political parties, and your petition will be given. You are responding, yeah? The due response. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chairman of the committee. We are all going to address the masses on the speakers there. Let's all go.
Tells you how the president should listen to good counsel. It is for the interest of our democracy. It's for the future prosperity. The president does not need to set a bad precedent for the good people of Ghana.
What next if the president does not listen?
Well, we have given the petition. Setting a bad. Let's wait to see how he will respond. If it does not respond, we know what to do.
You've heard from Stanley
Demonstration.
Thank you. Jackie, what did you have from Stanley? He sort of gave you a response.
Oh boy, cho boy, and there Ghana for nyina kyerɛ sɛ dia ɔmanpanyin Mahama ne n'aban ɛyɛ no ɔmo ngye ntum yɛhyɛ aseɛ no ɔmo si o nkurɔfoɔ ɔmo bɛba no ɔmo ndu 100. Now we have seen the masses in their thousands. God bless all of you for making it up. Omanpeyi onene NDC for no omuso omu petetem. Nti on pese omu yi chief justice. Na omu fa omu nkrofo. Said the beya NDC for asemba na omu kamo. Said the beya omu dis atetem na jese almost is a constitution. But ANC in there, ANC a China, na di chinsu bio. Zaya pede ya kacha NDC abenye there. Za wari yano, orumbuwa Ghana. Anyan Ghana fo, yaren tina ho, na wonfa etutrusam, wonfa nse ya kebmemi kebi. In there, obi biya nenyi tuya. Za esi, yaza asumdwe ena yaza by dem demonstration na yaza asumdwe so yaza rekɔ yabada wɔn nyinaa ase na yaka kyerɛ wɔn dɛ za NDC fo ahyase wɔn yɛn wɔn dɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛda eyi ɔnyɛ MPP fo nkutin wɔ adwuma ɔyɛ all the political parties na wɔbɛ together na wɔbɛzi dwuma ɔte dem Mekanada mi wia. One mesre na mako. What okasem kakra. Waji tuma. So our country Ghana is under siege. A call to rise, resist, and defend the judiciary. That is what we are doing today. There is frightening and ominous clouds now loom over our republic as we march today. It's so clear that the 1992 Constitution, the sacred covenant that binds us as a free and sovereign people, is under assault. The very institutions entrusted with safeguarding our liberties are being infiltrated, manipulated, and desecrated. A ruthless cabal determined to cling to power at all costs. A third-term agenda. Even before NDC under President Mahama could assume the reins of government, we saw a violent assault on our constitutional order. They established the so-called ORA, a committee without any legal basis or constitutional backing, which engaged in flagrant illegality. That was the opening salvo in what has now become a full-blown campaign to dismantle our sacred democratic foundations. Under candidate Mahama's leadership, they are not going to provide security. What is preventing the IGP, the previous IGP, and the current IGP, what is preventing them from providing security for the Electoral Commission to complete its mandate? What we see is intimidation, bullying of state institutions, including the Electoral Commission. These mercenaries and thugs did not only brutalize our parliamentary candidates, agents, and supporters. They mutilated our nation. They inflicted physical harm, burned down Electoral Commission offices, and destroyed vital public property. Yet, to this day, none of them has been held accountable in a court of law. Now, under NDC, impunity reigns, and it is at the very top. Since assuming office, His Excellency the President has weaponized the security services, deploying them in retrogressive PNDC-style raids on the homes of political opponents. Dr. Addison, former Governor, Bank of Ghana, and Ken Oforiatta are victims of such onslaughts, including the ADC to former Vice President Muhammadu Bawumia. We say to NDC, this is not governance. It is tyranny, cloaked in the robes of democracy. Additionally, President Mahama has arbitrarily dismissed senior military officers with years of faithful service. He has gutted the Ghana Armed Forces of professionals, experience, and neutrality. Our military, once revered for its non-partisanship, is now being painted in NDC colors. This is dangerous. This is a dangerous betrayal of the Republic. And why? Because President Mahama no longer sees himself as a president. He fancies himself an autocrat, a ruler for life. A number of guests at his inauguration told this story. Military dictators, authoritarian sympathizers, men of iron fists and empty conscience. And as if to erase all doubt, he donned full military regalia at a recent armed forces event, parading as commander of a nation he plans to subdue, not to serve. His every gesture speaks to a sinister agenda to break the constitution, amend it, and prolong his grips on power, abetted by a judiciary he is desperate to capture. This explains the relentless siege on the judiciary. A judiciary that is under siege. The head of the judiciary is being dragged through a sham process of removal from office, engineered by a desperate president and a rubber stamp by a failed Council of State. Their goal is not justice. It is intimidation. It is a warning shot to every judge. Obey or be broken. They do not seek a judiciary that upholds the law. They seek one that bows to the will of a dictator. A bench bent to serve power, not principle. They seek to install kangaroo courts under a democratic facade. What is happening is no accident. It is a warning, a threat, a ruthless message to every judicial officer that dissent will be crushed and independence punished. Let us remember the independence. Let us remember that the PNDC, the ideological ancestor of today's NDC, once murdered 3 High Court judges in cold blood. One of them, Justice Cecilia Grantiado, was pregnant. She died with her unborn child, burned, defiled, and erased. That dark memory now casts a shadow once more as a Mahama returned with vengeance in his heart and fear as his airport. Let us observe a mini silence in memory of those judges who were murdered by the PNDC, the ancestor of NDC. 1 minute silence in memory of these judges who were murdered. May their souls and the souls of all the departed in the judicial service who suffered atrocities at the hands of the PNDC and its successor NDC rest in perfect peace. Amen. This time, instead of bullet and fire, the NDC uses nominations and intimidation. He has proposed 7 new appointments to the Supreme Court. Some competent, yes, but selected to serve his diabolical agenda. He wishes to fashion a judiciary in his image, subservient, pliant, loyal to party above law. It is no coincidence that His Excellency titled his memoir, My First Coup d'etat, and what is unfolding in our democratic institutions appear to be the second. But the judiciary is not his only target. Since returning to power, Mahama has embarked on a sweeping purge of the public and civil service. Hundreds of hardworking Ghanaians, professionals who have served government of all stripes with dignity and skill, have been dismissed without cause or hounded into false resignation. Their only crime was refusing to wear NDC's colors.